Good evening, everyone. Happy with the new intro?
It gives me Simpsons vibes. I like it.
I like it, eh?
It's doing a job.
Hmm.
Just casually sharing the fact that we're doing a super cool stream 2
Yeah.
hours before kickoff.
How's your day been, mate?
Oh, it's been a busy one, mate. You know, a lot of people need insurance.
Yep.
Jack's reasonably good at these jobs, so people want to talk to him. So it's just a busy one.
That's good. The lead up to this Origin's been pretty weird, I think.
It has. I think we'll chat about it now.
Yeah.
So for those living under a rock, Aaron Woods works at Triple M. He made a couple of comments about young bush poet Billy, about his tendency to be a bit grubby during Origin. Now, it was solely just amp it up a bit, I reckon.
Yeah, it was just taking the piss. Like, sort of getting everyone fired up.
Gordy responded first, saying, mate, you played reserve grade for the last 5 years. You weren't that brave on the field. Why are you getting lippy now?
Before you go on, for an old head, Gordy loves a clapback.
Oh, mate, he is begging for a scrap.
He lives and breathes clapping back. He wants people to say shit like that so he can be like, for example, Madge last year. All he wanted to talk about was how shit Madge was as a player.
It's just, I think he misses the biff. So
yeah.
He's going to be the kind of guy who's going to get his meds stolen in the retirement village and he's going to just start looking for a scrap. Instantly looking for a scrap.
Oh, yeah.
Back to it. So, what was it? Yesterday afternoon, Queensland had their press conference and someone went, Billy, what did you think about Woodsy's sledge to you? My goodness gracious me. What a response from the man. Deep dive into mental health and brought up Paul Green, which I thought was a bit out of taste and I was a fan of. He's since apologized and revoked that statement. But I just didn't see Billy as someone who would take the bait so easily.
Look, I'd be lying to everyone, to you, to myself, to anyone who listens to this podcast, if I said that him taking the bait yesterday didn't extremely worry me about tonight.
Well,
yeah, go on.
To counteract that, I was having a chat with one of the chaps at work. He thinks Billy's gone over the top on purpose to get all this backlash on him to amp up the boys for tonight.
Right, look. I understand Billy Slater is an extremely intelligent human being, right? He knows the way footy works. He knows how all this shit works. Is he actually, like, think about this. I think he could have taken the spotlight off him in other ways than, like, his thing is, everything else he said was good. It's just the end part about Paul Green, which I thought was, like, really, really weird. Like,
if he had said, Woodsy, your two biggest moments were jumping over people in Origin and landing in your face and becoming a default player at Magic Round and running straight past the attack for no reason while you're defending.
Becoming what
the
kids these days call an NPC.
An NPC. See, me being so advanced in my age now, I couldn't even remember what it was called.
The default player.
I couldn't keep up. See, that's what the kids of my era would call them. I don't even know what NPC stands for.
It stands for non-playable character, mate. So it's like if you're playing GTA, I'm not a GTA head, but if you're playing a GTA and it's like those people that are in the game that like just doing random shit, they're like computers.
Oh, okay. See, a young whippersnapper like you would know that. Me, not so much. A bit before my time.
That
was a big 2 weeks between us.
Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks is an age. I just
feels like a life.
Like you said, that's there's an easy response. I feel like Billy could have gone that route, like that you just said, sort of just like have a bit of a dig at Woodsy. Instead, he's like acted like he's taken this whole thing to heart. I don't know if he's taken it to heart. If he has, and he's got issues going on like in his personal life, and it's actually affecting him, like fair enough, that's shit. But like, it's just it's such a weird thing to say. It's the only way I can describe it. It's like he's gone from getting called a grub in footy to saying mental health is like a touchy subject, and the last coach may have struggled
with
from
all
it.
due respect, Billy Slater, it's not much of an argument. He's the best fullback of all time.
Yeah.
He did some wonderful things as a player.
Mm.
He wasn't not a grub.
No. I understand that. But I'm sure he knows that as well.
Is the jump in the air turning into the front face kick to the poor doggies bloke? Or
is that the one that Woodsy was referring to?
Yeah. And then poor Billy comes out that 15 years ago, Curtis Patterson was suffering with depression. And Billy Slater went, toughen up, princess. It's not that deep. He didn't say that, of course. I'm just paraphrasing here. But what a poor time for that to get brought up again.
I know. It's
kick them. Talk about kicking the man when he's down.
And this is where, like, I understand Woodsy's trying to fire it up. Yeah, he probably maybe said a couple of things maybe he shouldn't have said, but I don't know. I'm not happy with Slater's response. I'm glad he apologized about that whole. I don't know if it was a misunderstanding, if he planned on saying that, because the rest of the things that he said seemed pretty pre-rehearsed. Do you agree?
Yeah, he definitely wrote some stuff down, and I reckon Mrs. Billy Slater's going, mate, really get into it. Show your passion. And then he went out on a whim, and the whim should not have gone out. It should have stayed home.
No, it should have stayed. It should have stayed at home. He should have
taken the car. He shouldn't have gone out on the whim.
But yeah, so if he is like 1,000 IQing everyone and just putting the spotlight on him, getting all the boys G'd up, like try to protect their coach and shit like that. Excuse me. Then fair play. Maybe that's what Queensland need, is something fucking extravagant like that, but I don't know.
Maybe. I've also been told that he's gone out like that to go out of his way to get sacked because he misses being on the farm 24/7.
Well,
not sure I agree with that.
By the sounds of it, after all the rumours about Slater getting dropped if he loses this series went out, I saw Queensland, or the Queensland CEO, come out and say there is not a chance that Slater is not coaching next year.
And when that gets said, you know for a fact he's getting the sack the second they lose game 2.
Yeah.
They've already got his release papers written.
Yeah.
And they're ready to announce Ben Ikin as new head coach.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd be happy with that.
Well, I would be very upset because as far as I'm aware, he wasn't that good of a player. I, of course, don't know the man as well as others, but
I know he wasn't. To me, he's the NRL 360 guy.
To me, he's the guy who walked into Origin camp in '95 and Fatty Vorton went, way at the back for signatures, my guy.
Yeah, that is such a fucking funny story. Like, only Fatty would do that too, I feel like.
Oh, it's such a Fatty thing to do. I will say, I spent minimal breaks I had at work today watching a compilation of Gus Gould pre-game speeches.
Oh, how jacked were you after that?
Oh, I walked up to my manager and I went, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get your hand on a brick wall. I'm ready. And she went, Jack, what the fuck are you talking about? I went, just get me that brick wall, please. I'm so ready.
Oh, there's nothing quite like a Gus Gould fire up speech. I tell you what, at the time when he was doing those on-field like pre-origin things, I used to sit there and listen to him, and I'm like, fuck, before I appreciated the man that Gus is, I used to sit there and go, "Fuck's sake, I got to listen to this cunt talk again."
Hurry
the
up, just get
Blues.
the fucking footy on.
Yeah,
Just
but
gonna rip
now,
and tear with some national anthem.
now all I want to see is Gus Gould walking across the field.
Who would be the best replacement for him? We need someone with a bit of character and the voice.
And you also need someone who's just like knows more about rugby league than anyone else. That's the thing.
He just aura farms.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's anyone at the current moment that could do that.
I think the man to replace him would be Matty Johns.
See, I understand that. I guess.
If you could combine Joey and Matty and take the best aspects of them both. So we need Joey's aura farming ability and Matty John's ability to sounds cool when he talks. Because
funny that he's got the talking down pat over Joey, that's for sure.
I heard a fun fact. Joey's only ever done 2 podcasts in his life.
Yeah, I also heard that fact. That is quite crazy.
Listen to it. Hello Sports interview with Joey Johns. Maybe the greatest thing I've ever listened to.
It's great, isn't it? I tell you what, I put this in top 10 most badass / thug throwaway comments I've ever heard in my life. And that's when the Hello Sport boys were talking to him about someone that was talking shit about him. And he goes, I did get told, they're like, how many times did you win at Suncorp? Or what was your record? And he goes, I did get told a stat, played 10 games at Suncorp, lost 1. Oh, no, 12 games at Suncorp. 12 games at Suncorp, won 10, lost 1, drew 1.
And then I watched both the YouTube and the Spotify.
Yep.
So you hear the Spotify and he goes, sit on that with no lube.
Yeah, how good's that?
And then when you watch it, he gives the bird to the photo above him.
When I saw that, I just pissed myself laughing because it's just so good that he actually put the finger up to him.
He seems like such a petty dude.
He does seem petty. He also seems like he's kind of a bit of a contradiction because he seems incredibly petty. What's the new format?
That's probably a good segue because we spent 12 and a half minutes dribbling absolute nonsense.
Yeah, look, we have time, but we are in a time crunch because there is probably one of the biggest games of Origin ever tonight. So,
all right, let's jump into it. We'll let the losers go first. So why don't you show Luke what the new format looks like, Mr. Caleb, and announce the Game 2 Origin squad.
Okay, so we'll go with Queensland first. Actually, we'll go with the Blues first because there's nothing.
I just said Queensland.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear Queensland.
I said what?
I didn't hear Queensland.
I said Caleb, losers go first, announce the Queensland team. Let's do New South Wales first.
Well, they're losers.
We were in game 1 or game 3 last year or game 2 the year before that.
Yeah, look, we're living in the past.
It's the one who goes 8 straight.
Do I say that? No.
I reckon $10 says if I was able to meet every person in Queensland, there'd be at least 20 people with that tatted on them somewhere.
Probably. I
reckon their names would be Gavin.
What's another real Queensland name? Darren. Yeah, Darren's a Queensland.
Darren and Gavin.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right. We'll go with Queensland, not because they're losers. Here we go. Bang. Yeah, you like that, Luke?
Oh, so much space for activities.
Now, I'll run through the team. This is obviously not positions, but
do you remember the positions?
I'm just gonna go for it. We've got Ponga at fullback. We've got Hammer and who's the other wing? Why am I having a mind blank? Xavier Coates on the wing.
Yeah.
Val Holmes and Robert Toyer in the centres. Munster and Dearden. The forwards, we've got Mo Fodawaker, Harry Grant, and I believe Tino's starting. And at lock, we have Trent Liero. And then the bench, we have Kurt Mann, Nanai. I've got the edges. Ruben Cotter and what's his name are starting. what's his name? Kurt Capewell. And then the bench, yeah, we've got Kurt Mann, Jeremiah Nanai, Lindsay Collins, and Patrick Carrigan.
You got there in the end. It was a bit tough.
Mate, I'm reading. I just shouldn't have just read the names. I should have just gone off my head. I'm reading the names, and then I'm reading the name below it, and I was like, throw me off. Okay, well, I'm not really sure why that's happening.
Hold up.
What
Let me see if I can see what he's saying. Might better work through this technical difficulty together.
This may be because it's a new addition to the thing.
It's doing a job.
What's it showing?
Sharing the fact that we're doing a super cool. It started from the start for me, which is no. Mine sees it.
Well, I'll see if mine sees it, and if mine sees it, then it's a Luke issue.
It started from the start. While you do that,
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the team? Well, I'm going to go through my thoughts on your team for game 2 as a outsider looking in, and we'll get your true Queensland spirit thoughts.
Yep.
I think it is considerably worse than game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trent Loiero may very well be the worst lock in the comp. I think he's terrible. I think people mistake his aggression for talent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think if there's worse locks off the top of my head that I can think of. There probably is, but for the sake of the argument, we'll just roll with it.
That's a very, very big. I'm not going to back that, but
I can see what he's saying. So the gap between our screen, you can see the screen fine, but there's the gap between where the comments are and the screen is just black.
Yeah.
The gap between. Oh, I don't like hearing my voice on a read back. Then that kind of hurts.
Is that coming up? It's not coming up on mine like that.
It may be just a Samsung problem.
Oh, that could be what it is because it's definitely not coming up like that on mine.
That's really annoying. We will work on that. I'm not sure what we can do. No, he's not the worst lock in the comp, but people do mistake his aggression for talent. And
but like, how do you mean? I think you can pretty much bet your money on the fact that he's going to be going all game, tackling and running the ball up.
But how many games has he lost to Melbourne compared to how many games has he won?
I understand that, but you could say that about a lot of players.
Oh, not top of my head, I can't. He loves giving away.
He does give away stupid penalties, but he's not going to do that in an Origin game, is he? I think he's learned his lesson from that. He hasn't done it since that big call that he did, that big penalty that he did against whatever team they were versing. Might have been the Sharks or something. Canberra. Yeah, he has. I haven't seen him do it since. I think that's a massive call and a big thing to say.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. And when Jack's not a fan, Jack's not a fan.
Yeah, well, look, he is there to get through the. I'll talk about my team. I'll talk about the team, right? First of all,
also the 4th best lock in the team.
Yeah, but like locks are such a like. Obviously, they're going to have a lot of locks in this team. They have got a lot of range in positions they can play. I
agree, but you probably want the best lock to be playing lock.
Okay, who else would you have instead of him?
I'd have Carrigan and lock, and I bring in
but Carrigan. Yeah, I understand Horsburgh. I would personally bring Horsburgh in the team for Kurt Capewell. Not as an edge.
Yeah, but Capewell fills a position. He fills the Beau Fermor role of.
Look, this is the team's out of whack. All right. So first of all, I'm a Titan supporter. Right. I watch every Titans game. I really like Mo Fotuaika. I genuinely do not think he should even start for the Titans because I don't think that's the way he should play. And he's a lock-in starter for a fucking Queensland Origin team. It makes zero sense to me. I disagree with that completely. If you're going to have him in the team, have him on the bench, come on for like 20 minutes or whatever.
You use him as the first 20 minutes to get battered and wait for the game to kind of slow down before you bring your talented lads in.
Yeah. Which, well, maybe they do that this game. But I really am a firm believer that Corey Horsburgh should be in the squad. I think, like, if you got to match crazy with crazy, he's the only person I can see that's going to bring the energy, a bit of grubbiness, like, and sort of match even Spencer Leniu coming on, like, match that energy, you know? Like, this kid, the guy would be crying when they fucking have the Australian anthem playing. Like, it's just, he just loves it. He is that type of player. I want him in that team because he's in form.
I don't get how he missed out. You can play him. You could bring him in. You could have dropped. Let's say you dropped Liero.
But if I was going to do anything, I would drop Liero. I would drop him for Corey Horsburgh because I personally believe he is way better fit for what we need to do with this team.
Yeah, and then you can have Carrigan starting, Horsburgh on the bench, and Horsburgh can fill a role in the middle.
Exactly. And aside from that, I like Kurt Capewell.
Fodawaker and have Horsburgh start.
Well, look, I am not against that, right? Because I just am not sold on Mo in an Origin arena. I really am not. And I don't know how he's being like fucking instantly selected every year at the moment. I don't know if he's just getting picked because of his like fucking build. I genuinely don't know.
See, this is the support that I need in my life. I don't hear this enough.
Look,
I hear it from my household members. He's clutched up. He's a good man who follows some good footy. I like it. And if you didn't know who Luke was, you wouldn't assume he's a direct relative of mine, just being a good man.
So that's one thing that I'm not happy with the team. First, another thing, Kurt Capewell, I understand he's done a job for us before. I just personally think that you're just bringing, like, what can he do that Beau Fermor won't do? He's a younger version of him, essentially. He plays centre at a high click for our club, for the Titans.
I think Billy just wants experience.
And I get that. And then, like, I get that. I'm not as unhappy about that selection. I just think it's sort of like a move sideways / backwards because I want new people in this team so they can get used to it.
I think if you lose, sorry, I never have people try and talk to me until I'm on a stream.
You reckon they'll start bleeding players next game?
If you lose, I think you see like Purdue sneak in.
Yeah.
You see Fermor in there. You see, I don't think this will happen. I don't, but an Owen Paddy on the extended bench.
Yeah.
Like just launching these young ones. I'm just trying to think of other young people that Iongi on the extended bench.
But I don't think he'd be in there yet.
Nah, he'd probably be there. Like if someone told me Iongi was 20th man, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I tell you what. Okay, if you're Queensland, right? If Sam Walker didn't get injured, would you start to like? How do you think he will go in Origin? He's a tough one for me because I'm not sure his play style sort of suits it. But then again, like maybe
I feel like he plays kind of like Cherry.
I guess he sort of does.
A more flamboyant Cherry, like he ball out in two hands all the time. You never know if he's going to run or if he's going to kick. He loves his short kicks. He's a small dude.
He is small. That's also
and he's not thing. Bricked up small dude. He's a small dude.
He's like high school kid, small.
Yeah, he's like haven't filled out my body yet. Small.
Yeah, could be because his body hasn't got a chance to fill out because he's always injured. But
I remember when he first started, he got banged up and he just wouldn't go off. wouldn't
Yeah.
go off, kept it, like tough kid.
Yeah.
But like, what are his defensive stats like? Like, does he miss his tackles or like?
I imagine he misses a few tackles. He'd get
Because there's
targeted.
nowhere, there's nowhere to hide.
No. While you're doing that, I'll just talk about the last thing that I am not sure about, and I'm assuming that there's a reason for this. So, not a reason. I'm assuming that they have a game plan around this. So, moving Hammer to wing and Val to center, right? Yes, Hammer has had a couple of like poor defensive games the last couple of games. Other than that, he's been quite good. But you're moving Val Holmes, whose defense at center the last couple of years have been fucked. Like fucking terrible. I don't even know how to describe it. And if you've got Val Holmes there defending fucking Stephen Crichton, I don't really like that at all. So what I'm hoping that they're going to do is, and also you're losing Val Holmes' yardage. Like he's probably the only person in our backline that does that. That actually makes decent meters coming, like kick returns and shit like that.
Yeah,
Having the tough go.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, my thought process behind it is they're trying to get Hammer off Crichton.
I know that, and this is why I think that they.
Yeah, and that's the double-edged sword. Holmes isn't a great ball player.
Yeah, I know.
And he's not as elusive as Hammer. So, in my eyes, Crichton's going to have an easier night.
Yeah. Look, Crichton was defending both of those two by himself in game one.
He's just so fucking good. Oh, my God.
It's ridiculous. Dude. But if that is what they're doing, trying to get Hammer a bit of extra space, then I'm going to assume that Val is going to play as a winger the entire game except in attacking sets. Because I don't think I want Val defending Critter. So I don't know why they would do that. Like,
I think
at least
Billy's stubborn with it.
No.
I think it will be like that. Do you think Hammer's better in the air than Holmes is?
To be honest, it's a good question. I don't know if I've ever seen Hammer in contest for like in the air, really.
Like
much.
other than midfield bombs, which I think is a different skill to crossfield.
Yeah,
kicks.
yeah.
And is Hammer a bigger build than
Well,
Holmes?
he's just taller, isn't he? Like
Is he?
Like
you think so. But is he that much? So what's this?
And Val Holmes strike me as someone short.
Yeah, but you think that about every rugby league player.
I know.
Holmes is 6'1".
Fuck, he's 6'1".
He's 6'1".
He's taller than me.
Hammer is 6'1".
Wow, that is surprising.
Holmes is probably a bit bulkier. Hammer's 86. Yes, Hammer's a centimeter taller, but 4 kilos lighter. And then up against Lomax, whom I'm assuming he feels like a big dude.
He's tall.
Yeah,
he's 6'3".
6'3", 105 kilos.
And he is such a machine.
And like even Critter.
Oh, he's huge. He's fucking human. Have you seen the size of his fucking pipes, mate? Oh my God. I know, yeah.
6'4", 99 kegs.
I thought it. So Lomax weighs more than him. Fuck. Yeah, right.
Bro, Lomax is a tank of a dude.
I know, but fucking Critter's legs are massive. Like, even just his legs.
Have you seen the size of Zach Lomax's upper body?
Yeah.
Like, he's a wide dude.
True. Hey, look.
Sorry, I'm now in the mindset of having a stalk of Zach Lomax relationships. Got a bit off topic there. Apologies, but
just a quick recap on Queensland. They're clearly. I do like Munster as a captain. I do, because in my opinion, if we have any chance of winning this game / series, he has to essentially it's going to take a miracle, and that's not only because of the position we're in or the team. It's like we are coming up against like a Blues side that's the strongest it's ever been. Essentially, it's in my opinion, look, Queensland have some fucking amazing players, but in my opinion, this is the closest to this is the first time in a long time where the Origin team's skill level as a team is quite different.
Well, let's just have a quick look. I'm just going to go over the New South Wales team, and I just want to I've got both teams up on my side. I just want to have a look at something. Hold on, I need to go full screen for this because I cannot read it. Alrighty, so game 2, New South Wales were Edwards, Toto, Lomax, Critter, Trell, not Mitch Moses. Jerome Luai has replaced him. Moses did his calf. Cleary, King, Haas, Robson, Martin, Angus Crichton, Isaiah Yao, who's our captain, with a bench of Watson, Lenu, Young, Utakamanu. Matt Burton, who was 18th man, was not good enough to be the 5'8". I think because of everything that's happened in the last week, with Keon getting hurt, obviously, who was the other front row? Barnett got hurt, Moses hurt. It's probably the strongest side we can fill. But one thing I want to go over, the more you look at it, the crazier it seems. There's an argument that Edwards is the best fullback in the comp.
Mm-hmm.
There's an argument that either Toto or Lomax are the best wingers in the comp.
But Toto is one of the best wingers of all time already.
I think 3 wingers in no order are Toto, Lomax, Coates. So,
yeah.
Critter's the best center in the comp.
Yep.
Latrell is...
Latrell. That's all you need to say.
He's a top-tier fullback and center. Luai was probably a top 3-6 last year.
He fucking also only knows how to win in big games.
He's only ever won in his life. Cleary, best halfback in the comp. Haas, best front rower in the comp. You've got Young, Crichton, Martin. There's no argument that one of them are the best back rowers in the comp. Young's the form back row of the comp.
Mm-hmm. Liam Martin fucking just delivers in spades in every single big game he plays.
Crichton's allergic to having bad games when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Watson is the perfect 14 for anyone.
Yep.
Spencer's the best bench prop in the comp.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that team, I think, has potential to rival 8 in a row Queensland.
So do I. I have been I genuinely agree with that, and I've been thinking that since your team's been on the verge of getting to this level for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And that all stems from Freddie debuting 11 players his first year or something like that.
Cleary's been playing in the Origin since 2018.
Yeah. So it's all worked out how they're planned, and it's their team is amazing, and I genuinely agree they would rival that 8 in a row but it's just I don't think many people are talking about it because it's that's an untouchable subject. This team is one of the best teams that will ever get fielded, and I've been saying that for a little bit. That's why I said aside from Queensland's team, the position we're in, the game plan, the lack of game plan, this team is hard to beat with the best team you can field.
If we play to the best of the abilities that New South Wales can play, you will struggle to touch our forward pack. You kick to the corner and you've got Lomax, Edwards, Toto, Critter, hit-ups instantly.
Exactly. This is what's different. Why I think that there is such a good argument for this team beating that 8 in a row is the fact that there's not often where Origin teams come out and they have such a fucking clear and extremely dominant game plan that would beat anyone. like as this team does.
Like, I think we're at a stage, like, people go, oh, the Australian team back then was all Queenslanders. I think if Pacific Islanders hadn't had such a big jump in the last
Well,
5 years,
Exactly.
there wouldn't be that many changes.
No, I agree.
Like, it's crazy that, like, I'm looking at this going, I don't know where Coates fits in
Yeah, I know.
because he's probably a better aerial threat, but Toto and Lomas combined for nearly 500 running meters.
They are
one.
like like Coates has his own things that he's good at. You cannot rival Lomax and Toto at the moment. They're the best wingers in the comp.
Like, they just
Because
the work rate.
especially it's in the game, the way that the game is now, that is such a vital part to having a successful team. Is your wingers being exactly what those two are.
And I think with Luai there's a clear cut 1 and 2. Like, I feel like Cleary and Moses struggle to kind of bounce off each other, whereas these boys will.
Well,
My
yeah, exactly.
only
Game
concern
1. Yeah, go.
is that Yao sees his buddies Luai and Cleary and decides he wants to play Panthers ball, which I don't think he'll do because he's been so good.
I think he's learnt, or New South Wales as a whole have learnt their lesson on playing like that.
Do you know something that's ridiculous?
What?
We'd probably have dropped Stefano, had Yao and Cam Murray.
Oh my god. See, I look at this team and I forgot Cam Murray existed, which is fucked.
Which is ridiculous. Cam Murray is a superstar.
Cam Murray is the starting lock in there, and that's not even a question to me.
He probably wouldn't be.
But the only reason why I say that is simply because of the way that Yo plays more like a front row in Origin. Like, he can move to the forwards. He can move to a prop.
Yeah, do you make someone else captain then?
What? Why can't he be captain from another position?
Do you really want your captain coming off the bench?
I guess not, but he's surely... Oh. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe in that respect.
You could do clear... honestly,
I mean...
fuck it. Give Critter the captaincy for all I care.
I think Cleary will get the captaincy next.
Yeah, I thought that, but fuck, man. You don't like the idea of Critter being your captain?
No, I agree. I think Critter should get the captaincy. He's fucking 24 or whatever, 25, captain the Bulldogs to the top of the ladder. Like, he's clearly got some serious fucking aura that people just want to follow him.
Hear me out. This could be a bit of a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Has Crichton done more in his career than Cleary? I'm going to get two things up. Remember that Cleary is 3 years older than Critter. So this is his record. His honors. 4-time Premier, 3-time minor Premier, 3 Origin Series and a World Cup. He's won 2 Clive Churchills, Halfback of the Year twice, and Rookie of the Year. Critter's won 3 Center of the Years, Captain of the Year, World Cup, Player of the Tournament. What's that? 1, 2, 3 Grand Finals, 3 minor Premiers, and he's won last year's Origin, but also took Samoa to a World Cup final as the best player.
Look, there's obviously an argument there. I think that there's an argument there in saying that, like, Cleary didn't get the. Are you saying that Samoa don't make the final if Cleary played there? Because I believe they would.
They probably do, but Crichton's also a center.
He wasn't playing center for that team.
Exactly, which makes it more impressive. He was playing 6.
He wasn't even playing like a six, but he was just having the ball. He just had the ball a lot.
Yeah, it's just like I think, and then also Critter's gone from Penrith and taken a cellar dweller to the best team in the comp.
Oh, look, I'm not saying that he hasn't done all that, but he
And
also.
I'm not even saying that.
What I'm saying is clear. He has had he's had the opportunity for that. Him taking the Bulldogs. He's joined a club that was going to turn around. Obviously, he's played a huge part in that, but that's a system thing.
Yeah, it feels interesting.
It is interesting. Like when you read that stuff, he sounds like he has done a lot more. But I also think you got to give the credit where credit's due. Where
I don't even know if I agree with the statement. It's just something interesting to throw up.
It's pretty crazy when you say it like that. I forgot he got Player of the Year in that World Cup or Player of the Tournament.
I don't even know if he did. I just read it. I think I might have read it wrong.
Because
What year was it? 2021,
I think.
Yeah. 2021 Rugby League World Cup Player of the Tournament. I don't think he won it.
Surely it was an Australian. No, Turbo got it, didn't he? Or Cam Murray?
Well, I'm looking at the players of the tournament. Joey Manu won it.
Oh, yeah, when he decided to run 400 metres a game every game.
Yes,
that was
there
then.
we go.
Right.
Yes.
I got another question for you. So, coming into next year, right, you've got a man up north by the name of Isaiah Katoa that is absolutely killing the game right now. He's also 21, I believe, or 20.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on him coming? Like, would you bring him into the Origin team soon?
Where?
Well, yeah, that's why I like. He's playing that well. I don't know if you could put him at 6 because like he's obviously a 7. He's so clearly a 7. So yeah, true. I don't know, but like I just feel like it's such a fucking perfect opportunity to have a young player come in and kill it.
I don't disagree with you. I just don't know where he plays. I mean, you can put him as a 14, but then you'll lose Robson or Watson.
Yeah,
he's not. I really don't know if he's a 6. He seems to be a 7 whole life.
He's definitely he plays like Cleary used to. He plays like Cleary used to. Cleary's probably a bit more versatile now.
Yeah, Cleary's 27.
He's still got. That's the thing. Like, are you going to make Isaiah Katoa wait until? Because Cleary will be playing for the next 5 years at least.
Well, you can't even our team's they're all in their primes at the moment. It's
I know.
Ridiculous.
That's why I asked you because I just think it's
Reece Robson, 27.
Isn't the oldest in the team like 30 or 31?
Connor Watson is 29. Jerome's 27, 28. He probably moves into 6.
Because I was like, that's the whole reason. I thought it was interesting when I read something today. Like, if Cleary plays for another 5 years and you don't put Katoa in until then, he's 20. He's playing this well right now, and he's not playing Origin until 26. Is fucking psycho.
Well, it's like the whole Cooper Cronk saga.
Yeah.
I don't think Cronk played as much Origins that he probably should have.
Nah, and even when he first started, he came in he was a number 14 or something, eh?
Yeah, well, he didn't debut till he was 27.
It's easy.
He debuted in 2004 and didn't make Origins until 2010.
Wow.
He only played 22 Origins, which seems like a lot, but really isn't.
Not really in the scheme of things, eh? Interesting.
Cooper Cronk scored 37 tries for North Devils in the Queensland Cup.
Wow. Here you go, Cooper.
There you go. Cooper Patrick Cronk.
Cooper Patrick Cronk didn't
don't
strike
like
me
that
as a
name.
Patrick middle name.
He didn't. What's Billy's middle name?
I feel like George.
I think it's. Oh wait, is his name actually? His name's William Slater. Billy's short.
I never knew that, and I don't think I can ever look at him the same.
No, but he did not have the same issues that Mr. Cooper Patrick Cronk had. He debuted for Queensland a year after he debuted.
Yeah, I thought he. I remember that.
Alrighty.
Not because I was watching the rugby league back then, but I remember that happened.
Oh, I'm trying to get.
Right, you got a couple of stats you want to talk about, mate?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to add it to the. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I was trying to add it to where we had the others, but it just doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Turns out I added it twice. All right, let's move us back over to the corner there. So, these are some key takeaways that I thought were very interesting from game one. I think there's a couple. Yeah, so there's a couple there. I have a sneaking suspicion. There's no way that the tackle breaks and the missed tackles were the exact same, but I remember doing it.
I trust you, and that's both are psycho. That is absurd.
Let's see if I'm that stupid or not. But everything was actually reasonably close. Queensland actually had more kick meters.
Fucking, that is crazy to me. We had
It makes sense when you realize that you guys were kicking from a worse spot all the time.
Yeah.
All right, team
Most
stats.
of your, like 90% of your guys' kicks would have been attacking.
No, I was right.
Well done.
There you go.
Never a doubt.
I had a lot of doubts because it's crazy to think that missed tackles and tackle breaks were the exact same, just reversed. But big ones, missed tackles, 50 missed tackles in Origin is fucking wild. Like I think if you go to other years in Origin, you're not getting anywhere.
It's actually almost unheard of. I'd be flat.
I reckon to see how many missed tackles. Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how many missed tackles we had when we had 12 the whole game. 45.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So us with 12 men for 73 minutes had less missed tackles than a full strength 13-side Queensland. Who I might add were up against 12 for 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's a fucking crazy start. 49 tackle breaks. Wow.
Tackle break. Actually, it makes sense that tackle breaks and missed tackles would be kind of similar, actually.
I understand that it's similar. I think it's pretty psycho that they're exactly the same.
Well, if you've missed a tackle, the tackle's been broken.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I didn't think about that till just then. We had 8 people watching. That's probably a record for us. Go us.
It's all in Origin.
Quality content here. Quality content. We're on the up.
Yep.
Line breaks 4-1, but everything else is reasonably similar. I think we had 5 more meters a set.
Which doesn't sound right, does it? I mean, 5 meters is a lot, but it doesn't sound like as much as it was probably the most dominant game I've ever seen, especially in an Origin, mainly in an Origin arena, I guess. But fuck,
it was dominant in the way that New South Wales didn't have to try as hard as they would usually for an Origin game.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Like we had more possession. Your completion rate was a bit worse. We had 300 more running meters, 150 more post contact. Other than that, you had 30 more.
Yeah, go.
30 more kick meters you had with 2 more kicks. It's just the missed tackles. You rate 70 more tackles than we did.
Yeah, yeah. But aside from all the the stats, the tackle breaks and missed tackles, terrible. That's very telling. But with all the other stats, it's it doesn't sound like that much of a fucking pushover game. But eye test, it was
extremely, extremely dominant from New South Wales. Extremely.
It was.
Like,
And like the
not a second of
telling
that game did I think that we were going to win as soon as it started. You could just tell.
you had 2 of your forwards crack 100 meters.
It's just fucking terrible. And
We had,
what-
just
look
before
at-
I call your team shit, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, yeah. There you go. Let me just bring this up because I just want to bring something up. Just to
Like, we'll
back
play a
my...
fun game. Who had more run meters, Mo Fodawaker or Mitch Moses? It was actually a draw.
But
Mitch
But Mo
Moses is tiny.
Fodawaker is a starting prop. Let me just bring this up because this fucking aggravates me to no end. Okay, so Mo Fodawaker, he played for 45 minutes. He had 4 runs for... Why have I lost it? 4 runs for 38 meters. 4 fucking runs in an Origin game when you're the starting prop. That is why I'm so fucking hell-bent on not having him in this side. That is
That's
disgusting.
valid. Max King had
Disgusting.
more runs and run meters. He had double the runs.
Yep. And this, I said this when after game up in our review, but like that is fucking disgusting. As an Origin player, like I just can't get
Oh, I
over
don't
that.
like that. Didn't like that one. Where are our
What?
names?
Huh?
The names go away when you put a comment up.
Oh right.
There you
There you
go. Well, look,
Queensland just need more of that New South Wales spirit. Look, you might be right.
I reckon Chris Close. Chris, I will appreciate this reference if you're still listening. Rolling around in bed, screaming out night terrors of Origin is dead. It's famous for saying it after we won in 05.
Yep.
And then you fuckers decide to win 8 in a row on us. Did you would have heard the story about Michael Hagan convincing Joey Johns to retire from Origin?
Yeah, and he ended up being in
What
the
a
coaching staff for
Fucking
Queensland.
Do we win that game? I don't know because
Well, he was injured, but he was heavily injured that year. Here we go. You weren't here last week, I don't think.
it's very sad. His team manager has moved him around from his seat, so he's no longer sitting directly behind me.
Oh, so you can't remind him every Wednesday.
No, I can't. He walked in with his stupid fucking Queensland shirt on. He looked like a right dick. And he was me, all fucking dressed to the nines in my 1997 New South Wales jersey, my Blatchy's Blues wig on, just ripping and tearing at UE Insurance. They were fucking loving me. They're going, Jack, you look so respectable. Why haven't we promoted you already? And I went, up the fucking blows. And they went, that is why you will never be promoted.
We don't condone that behaviour.
No, I had to ask a manager for help. He looked at me and went, you're disgusting. I don't want to help you. He goes, why should I help you after the way you spoke to me 3 weeks ago? And I went, shit. Comes back to bite us in the ass, doesn't it?
Yep, always does. But look, you gotta give out the licks when you can.
Yeah, the rule is, Chris had told me from the day I was born, in order to give shit after, you got to give shit before.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And you need to be able to take it too, which a lot of Queenslanders completely fail to realise that.
In
and their favourite comment to go back to is, oh, yeah, 8 straight. Mate, who the fuck gives a fuck about 8 straight?
Mr. Jack said that to me today.
Look, oh, did he?
He did.
It just doesn't matter. It's so long ago. It's 10 years ago.
Longer than that.
12 years ago. 12 years ago.
Xavier was 18 months old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fucking wild now that I think of it.
As a Queenslander who pretty much decides how he's going to feel for the rest of...
No, 2014. He was 3.5, my bad. We're in grade 9.
Yeah, we were.
We graduated.
But as a Queenslander who pretty much Origin decides how he feels for the rest of the year, much like yourself. I fucking hate when I hear Queensland people say that. It is so annoying. It's cringy to no end.
It's something that should be looked at and admired.
Yes, but not brought back in arguments about Origin that is happening 10 years later.
Like when I hear some 50-year-old Darren say it to me and he puffs his big fat ass chest, like he's just beating me, and I go, Darren, I bet you haven't seen your penis in 25 years, mate.
Look,
that's why your wife keeps looking at me.
Yeah, I think it's time to officially put that period of our lives in the history books. Yeah, bring it up when you want to reminisce or something. Not around Origin time. I'm officially calling time on that comment.
Who remembers? Go look at that. Look at that. It was a good team.
Great team. Look at all those immortals in there. Yeah, look. There's a reason we won that team.
Good job, guys. You beat Jared Mullen, Peter Wallace, Terry Campese,
and you lost to
Greg
Trent
Bird at
Hodgkinson.
6, and you lost to Josh Reynolds. You fell for a dummy that a Parramatta reserve grader threw.
Fuck, that's sad.
In fairness, I'm a big Trent Hodgkinson man.
Look, he fucking had a couple of years where he was pretty dang good.
He was getting more money than Chrissy Sandow.
Tim Tam,
yeah, fuck, he sucked. Never good when a Bunnies fan calls me and goes, "Good news, you signed Chris Sando." And I go, "That's bad for you guys." He goes, "No, I said good news."
That was the calm before the storm.
You let go of Chris Sando so you can debut Adam Reynolds.
At the time, they thought they were crazy. People said they were crazy.
I'm just thinking of terrible people who have played for New South Wales over the years. You have Nathan Merritt, Michael Gordon, Tim Manor, James McManus, Anthony Quinn.
You still going?
Tom Leroy Lars, Tim Grant, Ben Cray. I think that's all.
Okay, you've got all of them off your chest?
Well, considering that's all in a 5-year span, that's way more than I should have had to accept.
That's crazy.
The fact that Greg Bird was a 5'8" for New South Wales,
that is fucking
upsets
psycho.
me greatly. But like, who can you think of that played for Queensland that you thought, fuck, that was bad?
I
have 3 or 4.
Corey Allen.
That was the one. But it's annoying. The shit people who played for Queensland actually did a job.
No, they did
Edric
a job.
Lee
And
actually played pretty well.
Yeah.
Branko Lee actually played pretty well.
My God, I forgot that guy existed.
Who's the other one in my head?
I will. Yeah, look, he's a weapon, mate. He deserved that spot.
Fuck it, I hate him so. I'll probably like him more that he doesn't have to worry about murdering Clint Gutherson on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, look. Just as a quick recap of the... I can't get my mind off this game. I hope that we need a miracle tonight. We really do. I am such a fucking positive and hopeful person, but we just do. We need a miracle. This is how the Blues felt.
This is how we felt watching Kirk Gidley captain us from the bench.
One of the funniest things of all time.
Do I need to say more?
No, you just don't. You can leave it at that.
Joel Monahan. He was pretty good for his time, actually. Nathan Merritt, the one that hits me.
Mate, Nathan Merritt, I saw a photo the other day. I believe he's a scaffolder now.
He is.
He also looked like he was missing teeth Could have been a weird photo, but it looked like it was missing teeth.
He was only in the side because Blake Ferguson has had to be a dickhead and got himself booted.
What did he do? Was that the Cruiser incident?
I don't know, but Nathan Merritt, Queensland went, oi, GI, move over one spot for me.
Yeah.
And he went, look at me. I'm up against a 5'2" rabbit who can run fast.
Also, Nathan Merritt, also one of the greatest try bombings of all time.
I do remember that.
Believe he ran the entire field and then kneed the ball out of his hands and knocked it on.
Considering how many tries he scored, do you think he'd be pretty good at like not getting overexcited?
Yeah.
Alrighty, are we good enough to bang out predictions and call it in 3 minutes in time for the Origin kickoff to start at 7:05?
Does the game kick off at 7:05?
No, that the pregame.
Oh
starts
my
at 7:05.
god! I was shitting myself just then.
Bro, I would have just cut the stream.
Dude,
I'll go first.
so would I. Okay, go.
We're gonna go try scorer. Our first try scorer, anytime try scorer, score man of the match.
Okay. Are we?
New South Wales?
Before you say that, am I going what I think will happen, or my
Whatever
true
your
belief?
heart desires, mate.
Fuck. You can't give it to my heart.
It has to be
Okay.
heart.
Go.
I've gone for a bit of both. You'll hear me. First try scorer, Xavier Coates.
Okay.
Anytime try scorer, Zach Lomax.
Mhm.
Score 30-4. Player of the match, we'll go Cleary. I'm feeling pretty safe in that.
Yeah.
What I assume is going to happen, first 5-10, Queensland are fucking bang, red hot. They're just in our face, couple of errors, come out a little bit complacent, get the first try. That wakes us the fuck up. Oh,
Yep.
you blinked. I thought you had frozen. You weren't moving. I'm like, I need him to move some form so I can see
Mate,
what's going on. The blink.
You got to understand how shell shocked I am right now.
And then we wake up. We remember, oh, fuck, it's Perth and these guys suck. And we put 30 pastures and we win.
All right. First try scorer. I am going to go.
I'm updating the rules. You have to pick Queensland to win.
You really think I can fucking
And it has to
bring myself?
be 13 plus based on what you've said.
It is going 13 plus. You think my name means nothing to me?
Pretty much.
No. I'm going to go first try scorer. Look, I also... No, actually, you know what? No, it will be a Queenslander, I think. I think the game is probably going to go how you think, at least at the start. I'm going to go... I'm going to go Robert Toyer is going to score the first try. Actually, no, I changed that. I'm going to go KP. I think he's going to have a blinder tonight. KP, first try scorer. Anytime try scorer, Zach Lomax. That's just the easiest one to pick. I'm going to go Queensland 26-10. And player of the match, KP.
I thought so. KP showing off for his new hometown fans.
Yep, that's exactly right. Please get him out of there. Get him out of Newcastle. I've been calling it for years. They're
They got
wasting his
Dillbags now,
talent.
mate.
Yeah, look, that's going to change things.
In all honesty, I'm very excited to see a Ponga Sharp Brown attack.
Look, it's going to be pretty cool to see. Be interesting to see what happens. I don't know what they're going to do about their halfback situation. The thing is, with the Knights, you never know if Dillbag is going to be a half every week, mate. Changes the halves every week.
13.
I like him at 13. We've been calling for that.
We have. But look, what's the time? 7:05. Any final words, mate?
Good luck. I'm gonna be honest. Good luck, and I hope that we are both. I hope one of us is happy at the end of the night.
One of us will be happy.
Yeah, me.
I'm not going to shit talk too
Queensland
much because
13
you didn't
plus.
shit talk from the start. Go the Blues.
See ya.